What's up? What's up? What's up? And welcome to another edition of Dreken Talk. I am your host, Dreken, and today we have an awesome guest, Mr. Ruben Brown. Big bro, what's going on, brother?
Hey man, I'm doing good. I'm out here trying to live my best life.
Ain't nothing right, ain't nothing wrong with that, brothers. So you out there in the Port of France.
Yeah, I'm out here for a little bit, getting away from things, because I'm not doing much football activity right now because of COVID. Shut a lot of things down and everybody revamping. So I've had some time to get away and enjoy the weather for a bit.
No doubt. We all always need that getaway time when we can just sit back and reflect and just don't have to worry about anything. And you deserve it, bro. You had a great career. You're doing a lot of great things for people. So, you deserve that break.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you out here opening up a forum where we can all talk, especially, sports and the history of ball and, our area in particular, So I'm happy for you, Dre, man, and I'm happy to be here to talk to you.
Man, I definitely appreciate you, big bro. And man, like y'all guys was the ones we looked up to, and you guys set the tone for us, man. So it's only right that we have you on here to talk about a few things, man. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna jump right into it. And we're gonna just start off, Rube, just tell us a little bit about, your early years, because you came to Glass, I think, a little later, if I'm not mistaken. Talk about, where you was at first and then when you got to Glass.
Oh, man, I grew up out there in Piney River playing football in the yard with my cousins and the neighbors that were nearby. We lived out in a rural area, so it wasn't no city life. So, playing football was our thing. That was our way away from whatever chores you had when you living out there in the country. You got chores. You got stuff like chopping wood, mowing grass, stuff like that you could get away from in the city, but not out there. So
No
growing
doubt.
up, it was, our break was playing ball. We played basketball, we played baseball, football all the time. And, it was me and my cousins and my brother nonstop every day. We played ball every day growing up. It wasn't a time when we weren't figuring a way to play more games. Summertime came, we would create little tournaments how much football we was playing out there in front of our house. So, really it was my family and my brother and I, we played together first.
Yeah.
And then I played first organized ball over in Amherst County at they had Little League football over there. And I played on the Amherst Broncos and the Wolverines.
Okay.
Before, yeah, we were pretty good too. We had some good players. As there's a lot of great talent out there. Even amongst my neighbors and guys that didn't even play ball, we were surrounded by talent. So everybody was a monster, man. They were beasts. So you had to be good to get out there, play, compete with those guys. And then from, my first few years playing ball, I went on and played ball at the junior high. I was at Amherst Junior High for a time there. And then for a quick hot second, I ran down to Atlanta and played a semester of ball down there and, got exposed to a larger, thing than what I was exposed to growing up in Amherst County. I just kind of knew what was happening around the area with football. But when I went down my ninth grade year and played my ninth grade year in Atlanta, and subsequently, that was the first year my brother played organized football, and he was destroying his first year out like a monster. So So we was into it. We hit the big scene kind of like when we went down to Atlanta and got exposed to what was happening down there. So when we came back, you know, my mom was moving to Lynchburg, and we was like, "Yo, it's Glass. That's where we headed."
No
You
doubt.
know what I mean? We're gonna go play with the cats. This, you know, this got the rap. They big time. You know what I mean? And so, and plus I had two cousins that were already in the school, Brian and Bernard Brown. They was already in the school, and, you know, we grew up with them. And my older cousin, Wally Brown, he went to Glass. So it was just a natural thing. It's like family. You know, you go find where your family is. But at the same time, Glass had that hot team. You know, they was, you know, coming from Amherst, where we was getting, you know, roughed up by, you know, everybody over in Lynchburg. Not, you know, not that it wasn't talent. It was just like, it was just more. It was more cats in Lynchburg, you know, than over in there. And so came to Glass, and I mean, it was really life-changing because Glass was doing things on a level where it was getting you ready to, you know, launch.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna groom you. You going to the next level. If you set in Mr. Odom's class, he's gonna tell you going to the next level.
No doubt. Mr. Odom.
How to do it. You know what I mean? He's gonna get you straight. You know, all the teachers, it was everybody there. It wasn't, even though you played ball, they wanted you to excel all the way. You know what I mean? And they knew, hey, if you play ball well, great. So we're gonna make you a well-rounded athlete. You're not just gonna be great on the field. You're gonna have to get into this classroom here, you know, and expose me about the opportunity of possibly going into college and getting to choose the college I wanted to go to. You know, with their help, they instilled that stuff into me. All the teachers did.
No doubt.
You know, and then you know, Coach Henson them ran like the best, you know, organized team that I was around in my time coming around. You know, because I had played a little ball here and there, and when you looked at what was going on at Glass, you was like, oh, I want to be down. Yeah, we're going to Glass. We're going to be down with Coach Bo Henson, and it was a great choice. Because Bo Henson not only was my coach, my mentor, you know, he's like, we all affectionately call him Daddy Bo. He's a father to all of us, you know, for what he's done and the time he's spent with us to, you know, groom us to be able to go take our talent and put it on the top stage, play with the best.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Compete with the best. You know what I mean? And show them like, oh yeah, E.C. Glass Lynchburg, yeah, I know, for real.
And that's one thing we was talking about with Coach. Is like the way he had us, you know, back when y'all was there, trailway buses. You know what I'm saying? Full the exclusive equipment, everything. So so we feel you 100% on that one, brother.
Yeah, man. And he had the staff that carried out the whole deal. You know, Coach Tucker spent a lot of time with me.
Yes.
Coach Stanberg, you know, Coach Bird, you know, everybody was chipping in some way. I can remember, you know, the guy probably the guy that was talked most about me at that time when I was coming over, because they were trying to get me to play offensive line, and I didn't want to play O-line.
Yeah.
And Johnny Palmer was the one that told him, he's like, that was offensive line.
Hey.
He was an offensive lineman. And he was right on, you know, but because we had so much talent, I was afforded the opportunity to play D-line, which I enjoyed, and and Coach Birds had me over there doing some O-line work. I came in at different situations to help the O-line and block, to do some O-line blocking. But, you know, they let me do, you know, my D-line thing and get that bug out of me and enjoy it. And also, you know, because, you know, once I went to college, it was like Coach Palmer said, offensive line. There you go. You found your place. So, but the whole setup that Coach Henson had, and I mean, it wasn't just on the field; it was off the field. It was the environment that the camaraderie he had with the alumni association and how they came and treated us, the players. It also was, and this is a key thing, huge thing, is the relationship Coach Henson had with the rest of the teachers in the building.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I took French in high school. I don't know how many other. I think Kevin Eubanks and I were the only two dudes that took French.
It's paying off for you now. Parlez-vous français?
You know what I'm saying? Bonjour. You know what I mean? I'm right here in it. So I wish she was alive today, because she would totally get a kick out of me actually being here and everything. And you know, that was a teacher that Coach Henson didn't have much dealings with until I came. Me and Kevin Eubanks came along. We ended up in the class, and now he got to go over there and talk to her. And he's like, I don't know French, but he know people. He knew how to relate to us and get our attention, and for us to pay attention to the things we needed to pay attention to. And, you know, he passed that in to all of the teachers and everything. They won't just, you know, you weren't going to pass through. You was going to work. They were going to make you accountable, because we teaching you. You're going to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what Glass is. We are the next level. So you
we don't rebuild. We reload and send you on off.
We reload.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, don't be coming in here thinking, you know, we going there. You better be ready. So they did that with me. So everybody at Glass, the whole setup took care of me and nurtured me and put me on the pedestal, and put me on a place where I was ready to go somewhere else and succeed. Yeah. You know, and when it got tough, I could just fall back on my, you know, how they trade me in Glass. I'm like, all right, we got this. This ain't hard at all.
No doubt. No doubt.
And my brother will tell you the same. It's the same for you guys. I mean, Coach Henson and them were doing it for guys in front of me. You know, I'm not the only one. They got Calvin Jones, Chris Simmons, whole bunch of other guys. My idol, EC Glass all-time idol, was Alvin Sneed. Sweet.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Me and him used to wrestle. I looked up to him. I followed him everywhere. He was state champion wrestler. He was a bad running back. He was the real deal. And he also, you know, helped expose me to that next level, because he went to UVA, and I used to go down to UVA and visit with him or spend the night in his dorm room and, you know, hang out. And he kind of brought me in. So once I got to that next level, I was ready. My people already prepped me. I was ready to go.
Yeah, and that's just like your brother did with me. You know, that was my man. You know, Cornell Brown. I told him, I tell everybody, I done seen linebackers in Texas, California, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, and there's no better high school linebacker that I ever seen in my life. And like I said, with you, where you looked up to Alvin, that's how I looked up to Cornell. And that was I had some things going on during my recruiting, but you know, Cornell sealed the deal. And just like a big brother do, when I got there, he took care of me. Did nobody bother me? Whatever I needed, I had it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just you know, that was just what it was. I mean, you know, that was it. So let's talk about that 88 state team a little bit, brother. Because like I said, you was a big part of that 88 state team. And hey, let's just talk about a little bit of it.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, there was no real official team captain of the team, which was awesome. Coach Henson would pick a guy each week, or offense, defense, or special team, whatever. They the captain for this game, and then next week is another captain or something. And for what I know about the '88 group and all, the real heart of it, all of those guys grew up playing ball together. I'm pretty sure I remember playing against Greg Jones when I was over in Amherst.
Okay.
So you can't miss Greg. You'll never miss Greg Jones. Big Jones, Barkley was the biggest dude when we was little kids, and when we crossed that river, I knew exactly. I'm like, man, we gotta go over there and play them. And we played Lincoln and Dunbar and all of them schools when I was back over in Amherst, and that's the group. All of them guys stayed together. Big Ron Hamlin, Butch Jennings, D. Wade, D. Crawford, Alan Mack, go on and on. Then you got Reed Ebert, Neil Calloway. Then they had Jim Donegan, Tracy Dunn. All of these guys. That's all of Lynchburg. All of Lynchburg grew up playing ball together, whether they was at Dunbar, Lincoln, or one of them, whatever. You know what I mean? Other than the cats that, like Hammer them, they was over there on the other side of town. The guys over here on this side that had time to make it up to 80-18 always had been together. They always had been together through middle school and going into high school. And I caught them at the right time. I'm a year younger than the majority of them.
Yeah.
Paul Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
All of them guys.
Reed Donald.
Yeah, all of them guys. All of them guys are older than me, so I'm behind them. And really, that '88 team, we ran up against a tough team in Potomac or Cortland when we lost, when we had Alvin and Randolph Austin.
Fella was the quarterback.
I personally was like, yo, we can't get no better than this. This is nice. They called plays like Reed Newton at linebacker. They were two of the hardest hitting. They smoked cats, man.
No doubt.
I was loving playing on that team, man. Trent and his brother. Tim Dean hadn't even seen the field yet over there. Tim Dean backing up way down. Yeah, that's how nice that team was. Daryl Humble.
Yeah,
we was cold. But we ran into a buzzsaw the year in the playoffs, and as soon as that playoff game happened, that whole team that was returning was like, we're going to get it next year. And that feeling hit us. We went from sad, Alvin them lost, Randolph lost, they seniors, they gone, we want the chip for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? We the coldest team. We done whipped up on everybody, but we lost that game. One game we done. So we knew we had to win every game next year. And we weren't gonna just win, we were gonna beat down people. And we had fun preparing for the upcoming season because we was excited. Because remember, all of those guys that like Greg Jones, Crawford, D. Wade, Alan McDaniels, Reed Ebert, Neil Calloway, all of these guys, Paul Fitzgerald, all of them had been playing together, and they had never really lost many games. Yeah. They probably only lost like 2 or 3 games throughout there, going from Lincolns and whatever teams they was on into JV, and then they on varsity. These guys hadn't lost. And you got to remember, B.B. Shavers was our special teams guy. He won't, that's how deep our team was. He
won player of the year in '88. That's crazy.
One player of the year. Before that, he was backing up. He was doing special teams highlights before that. Before he hadn't even seen the you know, the double feature they was putting them into until late in their senior year. Because his senior year, Tim Dean carried the rock.
Yeah.
He carried the rock for us. So in the short yardage, B and Trent would come in. And really, Kiki Trent was really a star. You had Courtney Harris, who was a star linebacker, Kokomo. Yep. I mean, he was the man, but he was the, you know, really a lot of the glue in the middle there for us at linebacker. B was like our guy. We sit on blitzes and stuff like that. But up front, it was myself, and Wilson Marks, and Jason McCombs, and somebody else. Some guys rotated. Martez that, and they rotated in there a little bit. But really, the guy up front was Key Trent. He was a monster.
Yeah.
He was so cold, they couldn't mess with us. You know what I mean? And we were just loaded as a team with talent.
No doubt. Statistically, that's the best defense ever. Because, I mean, y'all didn't give over what? Oh, y'all didn't give up over 14 points to nobody.
Nobody, really.
And then, like, a lot of goose eggs.
Yeah, a lot of goose eggs. And I forget the numbers, and you can have to ask Courtney Harris and everybody. You know, listen. There's a lot of guys that know the stats, you know, remember them better than me, and they could tell you how good our defense was. It was stone cold. Yeah, we were cold. We shut down everybody. Anybody that tried to run, we shut the run down first, and then and have fun taking you apart in the pass.
No doubt. Yeah, like I said, you had some monsters on that team, and it's just crazy that like a year earlier, like these stars and these guys wasn't even. It was so deep that they wasn't even getting that type of time, man. That's just something that a lot of people probably didn't know either. You know, they probably assumed that a lot of these guys, because of what happened in '88 and you know the reputation that they carried, that they was probably the man for all these years. When that really wasn't the case, because it was so many dogs out there.
Yeah, and you know, I always told guys that's what prepared me for the next level. Like I would go once I got up to Pittsburgh, you know, I ran into the guys that played at Aliquippa or other teams, and they're like, man, this guy played dual positions. You know, he played a bunch of positions. I mean, we had talent, so much talent. It was hard for them to play you in two positions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, you might be great at a running back and linebacker, but, you know, we got a really good linebacker. Go on and play one position. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's how BB, you know, got to play multiple positions, because really we already had the starters, and he was a special teams guy. He did special teams work mainly, so when someone needed a break or something, he'd go in and fill in that spot. But then when the senior year came, we were able to use him everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so it won't like B was for 3-4 years straight playing running back, killing it, playing linebacker, killing it. No, we had linebackers and running backs and everything. So, you know, he had to go down on the kickoff team to get his. You know what I mean?
And that's a scary sight, man. You think about that. BB Shea was on kickoff team. BB Shea on punt. Yeah. Come on, really think about that. We talking about the AAA players. Yeah. And like we was just talking yesterday, I think he led glass and sacks, tackles for loss, and touchdowns in one season. And that's going from special teams to that. And that's what I preach to a lot of the young kids today, you know, that's going to college and stuff like that. Man, listen, bro, get on them special teams, shine on them special teams. You're going to get your light. You're going to get some burn. And, hey, the way you make the NFL, you got to be able to play some special teams unless you're in specific positions. So, yeah, that's real right there. Yeah.
It totally prepared me, you know, because, you know, they could have played me on offense or defense. I could have played both sides of the ball. But why? Because we had enough talent over here
that
I could stay at D-line and kill it at D-line. You know what I mean? So
why your game?
We had Butch Jennings and other guys that were outstanding linemen. Greg Jones is over there. Yep. You know what I mean? Guys, we got guys that can play the position. Yep, Calvert Jones is over there.
I like Cal. It's one of my favorite people.
Oh, man, big Cal. Calvert's family was the ones that took me up to Pittsburgh and did an unofficial visit up there. And that visit with them, I think was the really sealing the deal, you know, for me going to Pittsburgh. Other than, you know, Keith Hamilton's dad, you know, had a little say in it too. He came and spoke to me about it. Yeah. But Hammer was already there, and Calvert, I mean, family was nothing but amazing to me, man. I love them people to this day. I love Big Calvert to this day, man, because he was so generous to me with his family and everything, man. I couldn't thank him enough.
Now, as a USA Today high school All-American, which is equivalent to 5 stars today, you know, back then, you know, you had the parade All-Americans, you had the USA Today All-Americans. So you was an All-American. And before we get to why you chose Pitts, talk to us about a few of the schools that really wanted you on that team, like, you know, that recruited you heavy. Just talk about some of those schools. Because I tell people all the time, y'all don't understand, there was a lot of colleges, top tier colleges, SEC, ACC, Big Ten, all of them was coming to the practices and to the game. So let's talk about some of the people that recruited you.
Oh, man. I'm not, Cornell can tell you this, man. Me and him, we love football. And I'm going to say before I go into this, my brother, I'm his biggest fan. I mean, I know the feeling people feel about, like, you know, him as a ball player. I really love my brother as a ball player all around. I watched him. Day one he put his uniform on. When I saw him walk out the door, I said, that boy about to tear something up. And he did. And he did it all the way through. Bruh. He got his love in the NFL and everything. And he rode the whole roller coaster with me. When they started coming into the house and everybody recruited me. And this ain't no exaggeration. Everybody that had a football team came up. Everybody.
Already. Yeah.
Everybody that had a football team. The only people that didn't come after me hard was Duke. Whoa. They was the only one.
We ain't want to go to Duke no way. Duke ain't had no football team. They ain't want to go to Duke no way. You used to win it.
I was looking at all the big spots, man. I was looking at every big spot there was. You know, I talked to the Miamis, I talked to the USCs, I talked to UCLA's, Arkansas, Arizona, Notre Dame, Florida. Anybody that was on the map. The top, Bo Schembechler called me. Anybody, Bobby Bowden, anybody that was top coach, I spoke to. And I didn't speak to Joe Paterno and what's the guy at the time was in Ohio State, because they had this rule about we ain't going to speak until a certain date. But by that time, I had my mind made up.
Yeah.
And they sent their people in late, and they was like, "Yeah, we've been meaning to tell them about this process that they got to change this because we losing players." I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you, Penn State. Love you, Ohio State. I've been having everybody else. Southern Cal done flew me already to Southern Cal already, and now you gonna show up?"
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I done been to Notre Dame twice. Nah. I'll talk to y'all when we playing y'all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I talked to everybody when it came to at that time, even the Ivy League schools, and today I really think like, oh, maybe I should. I've been to one of them Ivy League schools.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. That's a plan. That's what I ate. That's what Dreken. I told Dreken, you get that William and Mary degree, you can go play. If NFL is your dream and you want to be there, you go grind. You can go from anywhere. But you after football, you got that William and Mary degree stamp, bro. Hey, it ain't you going to the top of the list on any job that you go to just because of that alone. So I feel you on that. So what was the reason? Go ahead.
No, I was going to get into, so after all of these coaches and everybody coming through the door trying to get me, Johnny Majors, who was at Tennessee but ended up coaching me at Pitt, which was strange. Everybody did their thing to try to get me to come to their school, and I was enticed. You know, I took my visit down to Alabama. I went to Tennessee. I went to Illinois. I chose Illinois to go to Illinois because I was originally going to go to Michigan to check that out. But Bo Schembechler was retiring, and I was like, nah, I'm going to check another school out. And Southern Cal, I took a visit to Southern Cal. And so in between all of that, you know, Hammer goes up to Pitt, and Calvin Jones goes to Pitt. And through them, you know, I'm starting to, you know, check the Pitt scene out.
Yep.
And I mean, and this really kind of, I could have chosen any school. The thing that tipped me over the edge is, I mean, I'm a big Tony Dorsett fan.
No doubt.
I grew up idolizing Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
And shoot, that was Tony Dorsett. Good enough for him. I'm going to try to do some of that too.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Why Pitt? That was my next question. Why Pitt?
Yeah. Hammer and Calvert kind of opened the door and opened my eyes to it. You know, I knew about how the tradition of good ball in Pennsylvania was. You know what I mean? We knew about Penn State and all of that, but I was such a Tony Dorsett fan. I knew all this. I knew everything, all the stats, everything Tony Dorsett. And here his school is coming to ask me to come play, and I already got two of my people from back in my way already there. I'm like, I'm gonna jump on this because you know Pitt was actually, we had some talent there. You know, the wheels came off somehow, but we started out having some talent, and it just didn't go as I planned it when I was. The reason why I went up there, I thought we was on the rise coming up.
Yeah. But hey,
so, it worked out. You know, it
definitely did.
Actually, you know, we got a whole bunch of other cats from our home, you know, and Glass teammates that went up there. You know, Vince and Curtis. You know, got to go there. A few other guys might have come there. Virginia Tech better thank you for that. We better thank you for that. I'm telling you, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
It's one thing that I wish that I was able to do in my career. And I don't know about him, but for me, I would have loved to be on the same team at the same time with my brother.
No doubt. That's it. That's the ultimate, man. That's the ultimate.
Yeah. And more than just him being my brother, me and him up playing ball together all the time. He was right there with me.
Something. It's deeper than just ball. It's that all came from the mud together, man. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So I wanted to do it with him. I wanted me and him to do it. So, you know, it didn't go down. And, you know, I was going through a tough time at the time. And one thing I did notice, and I told him when he was making his trip, I said, when I came up here to Pitt, now I'm nationally an All-American.
No doubt.
Right? To come into Pittsburgh, they still got a little bit more favoritism for Pennsylvania players than out-of-state players.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an out-of-state player coming in, you got to work a little harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas some of the in-state guys was going to get we're going to run them in right now, you know, and just see, you know. Like, whoa, that's my rep. I told me, no, don't worry. You know, he went to Alderdice. He went to McKees Rocks. He went to the local area school where they got to deal with these coaches all the time.
Yeah.
They don't put out reason to get these guys on the team, and then they get them on the team, and I'm standing there like, yo, and why? They like, no, don't worry. But I had to work harder. I think I would have been shown a little bit more, you know, I would say guidance, a better guidance for me if I been in the state. Because I saw what they did for the guys in the state. The in the state guys, and they was a top tier athlete, a blue chipper. They was going, all right, we're going to try to get him out there right now, see where we're going to go. You know, it's almost like drafting a first-round draft pick. You know? He from the area. We got to put the guy from the area in now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I respect that. It made me earn my thing, but at the same time, that's the reason I told my brother, might want to get some love at home, man. Yeah. And he did. He got the right type of love.
That's it.
He got the real love.
But that make it more special for you too, bro. Like you got those odds going against you, and you still go in and did what you did, man. I mean, that's phenomenal. And another thing that is, I'm talking like, bro, it's the ultimate sign of respect and of care and of the right thing. And it's, you know, you knew the situation wasn't right for your brother. So, you know, you let it be known like, bro, it's cool. You know, this might be a better. And that advice right there is the best advice you can get. I had some Hokie fans and Hokie alumni got mad because, you know, the #1 tackler in America, Zach Rice, he's one of my groomed to be a Hokie all his life. They dropped the ball on him.
Right.
So I'm sitting there like, bro, ain't nothing I can go back and tell him. You dropped the ball. He was primed and ready. You didn't do your job. Yeah. So therefore, you looking crazy. I don't care if you're mad at me. Any kid that I deal with, if it ain't whether it's tech, if UVA a better situation for that kid, then that kid is going to, I would recommend that. And I hate to say that, but at the end of the day, I love my school to death, but it's bigger than football. It's about a child's life and how it's affected. So commend you on that, brother. Now, did you and Cornette ever face off against each other?
Oh, yes, we did. Man.
Let's talk about that.
Man, it was in Blacksburg, and I think it was my last year. Now, we had played a year before up in Pittsburgh, but he didn't get as much time because the other defensive end, I thought that was older than him. Price, maybe? I forget which one. They both played me, but, you know, they was older than Cornell, so Cornell was getting time at different areas. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then the year that I came down to Tech, Cornell was strictly off the edge by then. Yeah. You know, they kind of stuck him at that. Before, he was kind of moving different little spots. Maybe tried up linebacker, then maybe down line, some other different stuff other than strictly coming off that edge and tearing up stuff.
Man, that boy was hell off that edge, man. He just played with so much emotion, man. It's just like he had a great time, man. Like he enjoyed playing football. If you like, you could the energy. Like when I got red shirted, I'm watching this game. I'm in the crowd, like, good Lord, my man. Like, dog, this dude, and you know, quite naturally, I had to, you know, run. I was on scout team, so I had to run against that defense, and just, man, I'm just sitting there like, man. Like he really could have did me dirty a whole lot of times, but he just held me down like, yo,
He good like that.
He is, man. Like great spirit, man. Great spirit.
Man, listen, that guy, you know, I love the fact that that's my brother, man.
Yeah, man.
Me and him play football every day. I'm telling people, and I write the book. I'm gonna tell you, I got old people that I'm gonna get to record to prove that we play ball every day. People would drive past our house and they're like, you can guarantee you're gonna see them boys out there throwing that damn ball.
It's obvious.
In the mud.
It's obvious. It's obvious because both of y'all had some crazy, just amazing high school, amazing college pro careers. I mean, it's the proof in the pudding. You put in the work early.
Yeah. So once we got to organized football and putting the pads on and listening to coaches and stuff like that, we had already studied so much football ourselves. We consumed so much. It was easy. That's why you see we smile, we having fun. We
what?
It's not hard. We having fun. That's all we was doing. Just going. We did football for fun.
Yeah.
And that's what, it showed. It just showed. And we learned the techniques. We learned the skills. Because we were always competing against each other. I'm larger than him at one point in time. So, he got to learn how to be strong against me. But he's fast. So I got to, can't be a big, sloppy, strong dude.
Help both of you. Help both of you. Man.
There you go. We feeding off each other. And that just was nonstop all through our early days. And once we got into football and playing in the heat and stuff, man, other people having a hard time. We like, man, come on, bring it on. My dad put me to work out there chopping wood and mowing grass, working harder than this. What else y'all want to do?
Yeah.
What else you want to do? Man. So, it was a good deal for us.
That definitely was a good deal.
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm gonna tell you. So, high school All-American, college All-American. Right. Then you get drafted number 14 overall by the Bills. Just walk me through that whole process. That hearing your name at 14 in the first round, bro. That's man. Just walk us through that, man, because I know it was a great time for you and your family at that moment.
Oh man, we were all excited just the fact that we was in that air. Yeah. We were in that room. We was in the circle. We like myself, my brother. I think I had Big Ron was there with me. We like looking at each other like, yo, this is happening. It's actually happening. We seen this happen to other people in the newspaper and on TV, stuff like, well, we are actually here doing it.
Now.
Honestly, it really came down. We relaxed and enjoyed ourselves. We really enjoyed the moment and looked around us and saw where we were and thought about what we were doing. And, we really soaked it up, so to speak. So we didn't know what to expect, you know what I mean? But we just soaked it up. And I know my parents enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My whole little family got to enjoy it. And I'm glad that we all were able to because, they knew the hard road getting to that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot that led up to even being in that position. There's a lot of things could have happened and we could have not been there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
So we just all got there and we really enjoyed it and celebrated it, and took it in and took pictures. And I'm sure my sister got a ton of pictures stowed away somewhere, but everybody was just hugging. That's all I can remember. Everybody was just hugging.
Beautiful.
Just saying, man, wow. Like these kids done went from playing in the mud in front of the house to we here on, Madison Square Garden, and they calling his name as the 14th overall.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man. And you played 13 seasons for the Bills, for the Bears. You went to the Super Bowl with the Bears. But I'm just gonna give the people just a rundown of who they are listening to, which I know they already know, but the youngins that listen to it, you need to hear this because this is someone from our hometown. And this is someone, and you are someone that just, you set the example for, the city. You're one of the ones that set the example for the city, and you went on to do great things. But in 13 seasons, you was drafted 14 overall. You was a 9-time Pro Bowler and a 4-time second-team All-Pro. And for y'all that don't know the difference between Pro Bowl and All-Pro, the Pro Bowl is you have a lot of other multiple different players that play in the game. But All-Pro is mean you are the cream of the crop in your position. You know, like this is it. This is like you got your Pro Bowl and then you got your dogs that you won on your first and second team. So, man, with that, you're part of the Bills 50th anniversary team. I mean, you played for a Super Bowl and you're a Hall of Famer, a Glass Hall of Famer, a College Hall of Famer, Pitt Hall of Famer, and an NFL Hall of Famer. But for some reason, I feel with all that you've done and the way you feel about your brother, when your brother got drafted, I know we wanted him to go higher, but when he got drafted, I think that right there meant more to you than a lot of stuff that you did. So, you know, kind of go through that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, I was over my brother's shoulder. I always was paying attention, but I stayed at a distance because I wanted him to be he a man. You know what I mean? So you know, I ain't gonna pretend like I'm big brother, tell you everything to do type thing. In so many cases, my brother is so sharp, I would go to him. He's mentally like the big brother. Right. You know what I mean? So him going through his process, I was calling our general manager left and right that day. I said, if he go down another spot, y'all don't call him and pick him up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm calling people I knew. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Why my brother ain't going before now? He just led the college in sacks for 2 years in a row.
2 years straight.
You know, he 2 years straight. He a damn Playboy All-America consensus. Consensus. He there with Darren Woodson and all the other greats. That's him. That's my brother.
And for those that don't know what consensus is, consensus means every publication has you as a first team player. You are the best in everybody's eyes. That's what consensus means. So
yeah. So yes, him getting picked up was a big deal for me. I was so happy for him. And, you know, they fell in love with him, you know, really. I think they made it tough for him, but they didn't realize that he was a tough dude. You know what I mean? I think they figured they're going to bring him in, see how it goes, and then, all right, it's gone. No. He came there, made a huge impression on them, you know, especially as special teams, doing all of that. But, you know, I would always ask other guys around the league about my brother. I'm like, you know, that's my brother. And they'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was your brother. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest compliments ever. I almost fell out on the floor. I couldn't wait to tell him once I had spoken to Damani Dawson. Damani Dawson, while we were in Hawaii, he and I talking, and he goes, Ruben, I just realized that your brother is Cornell Brown. I said, yep. He's like, man, your brother is bad. And I looked at him, I'm like, Damani Dawson? He's like, I'm telling you, your brother is bad. I said, hey, man, I always, you know, he's my brother, so I don't think people believe me. He said, well, let them ask me, because I'll tell you, I played in the game, and he played at every damn position out there. He lined over the top of me. He lined over the guard. He lined up over this. He was standing at linebacker. He was everywhere. He was like, yo, your brother is bad. Yeah. I said, man, thank you. I can't wait to tell him. He said, please do tell him. Please do tell him. And I did. I tell Cornell, and I tell everybody I could possibly tell. You know, so because I'm the brother. You know, so I'm jaded. People not going, oh, you talking about your brother. I know. I said, no. The toughest the toughest pass pro I had was when I went down to Virginia Tech to play my brother. I did come in.
You and a lot of other opponents, brother.
Come on, man. I did the rest of them dudes in. The rest of them guys that's in the pro, Mike Mamula, I got pictures of me with and all of the Ohio State guys, I got pictures of me with my fist up in their face mask, pancake them.
Oh, I already know. Bro won't go for it. Bro say he been through that. Bro been through that.
But see, that's us. That's us. Man, Cornell took it to me. he coming because he knew my parts. He knew I know how to get that big joker. He out there beating up on everybody. And I know how to get it. And the thing is, he know as soon as he do it to me, I figure it out. He's like, now y'all can go get him. Because once I figure out what you done just did to me, now I'm coming back.
No
and
doubt.
he dodged that because he's smart. And that's what Damani Dawson was saying. My brother is smart football mind all around. And that's just because all the time we put in growing up as kids, we digested football non-stop. We always was dealing with talking about football, playing football, tearing each other's posters off the wall. He's like the Redskins, I like the Cowboys.
No
and I
doubt.
tear my poster when the Cowboys beat Washington, he tear my poster. And then when the other shoe run, I go and I tear his poster down. We going back and forth like that. My mom them buying new posters all the time. This one I'm lost. You know what I mean? So that's how much football we grew up doing, and that's why it was once the opportunity started coming, it was easy. We was clicking. It was like, man, come on, they don't even know who they talking to. We can coach.
No doubt.
We can coach.
No doubt, man.
So, yeah, that was love. That was
definitely love, and we're gonna get back to that part to end it out. But, bruh, you are an Iron Man. 181 total games in your career, and you started every one of them. 181 games. You got 181 starts. That is Iron Man, immaculate football, man. And not only that, you played at an extremely high level. Like I said, 9 years you was a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? 4 years you was an All Pro. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But one thing I know, Rube, is, like I said, how you feel about your brother and stuff like that, and how proud we are of him now still with what he's doing.
Yeah.
But Ruben, one thing about you, man, I noticed that, man, anytime anybody need anything, we've had conversations, you do a lot of stuff that don't nobody know about and that you don't really want nobody to know about. I mean, it's just the way that you are. You just do your part and keep it moving. But, I know you're involved in a lot of charities, man, and you got a few that's, that's really special to you, man. So just talk about your charity work and, because at the end of the day, bro, people talk about all the bad stuff somebody do, but they say always, that's why I always, when I know you, I'm going to promote it. I'm going to blast it because it's neat. Because guess what? If you was out there doing something wrong, it'll be blasted, promoted, gossip, talked about here, talked about. Nah. So when you doing things are doing that need to be commended, I'm going to commend you for them. So just talk to us about your charity, the charity group that you have.
All right. So I started the Ruben Brown Foundation when I was my first couple of years in the NFL. I would have so many people ask me to do stuff, come here, go there. So I just try to consolidate it.
No doubt.
And I say, look, I'm going to do a couple little fundraisers each year to raise some money. And then I'm going to take that money and go out into my communities and areas and places that I know that do things to help youth and development. Anything that helps with, any type of, it doesn't have to specifically be sports. It's just youth and development.
Yep.
And I've raised money for Salvation Army. I've raised money for Ronald McDonald houses in Buffalo and in Chicago, Salvation Army, Chicago, Buffalo. The one I'm proud about is I got with Charlie White and Paul Fitzgerald, and we got the Bo Henson Fund started up.
Yep.
So that's a charity arm that we got the ball rolling on that, and Charlie and those guys kind of keep it going and make sure the money gets distributed to places in the community that is needed.
Charlie White, a great guy, man. Charlie White, great guy. Charlie White, a great guy.
That's our brother. That's our brother.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to say the things I do with my foundation and the charity work I do is I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I don't try to go out and start up a new foundation that tackles some other issue. No, we got enough people in the community that are working on these things that just need some support, whether it be funding, some notoriety, some acknowledgement, whatever it may be. That's what I do. I go and I'll get behind them and support them. That's why sometimes you don't see, well, Rube's, building buildings and stuff like that. No, I'm doing stuff behind the scenes that help all of these, different charities stay afloat, keep going, you know what I mean? Because, there's lots of youth football programs that need our help for whatever reason. It could be helmet, shoes, every year so many shoes and stuff that I've been giving out for years. I mean, I could be feel nice. I mean, how much Nike stuff I've been able to get,
no doubt,
delivered to different schools and kids that need it and stuff like that. So I only look at it like this: someone took the time and invested in me,
indeed,
and supported me.
Indeed, indeed.
So when I got time and the energy and the strength and the money, I'm gonna put all of that towards something that does the same. If it's a program that helps develop young kids out there in any way, sports, academic, music, you can guarantee I'm going to be a part of someone in the community that's going to support that.
Yeah.
So, that's my whole thing. That's what I'm about. And, because I don't want them people to go away, because if the people, like the coaches and the teachers and the support groups and things like that go away, what do the kids have? I mean, they need that guidance. They need that mentoring, so we need to make sure those programs or I would say necessities are there for young kids so they can grow and become what we think they could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody believed that I could be where I am right now. I didn't see it, but, Coach Henson, like, yeah, listen, Brown, stop having a pity party for yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. I done got it too.
You know what I mean?
It was real. The coach was real. He let us know what's going on. This is what we need to know.
Yeah. So, I'm very fortunate that I've had a lot of great support, and mainly, like I said, right there, Easy Glass, our home, and I would like to see that continue for years to come. I want everybody to be able to have a similar experience that I had. And trust me, I ain't had no silver spoon in my mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Work for everything, bro.
So, yeah, exactly. So but we had people in the community like Coach Henson, Tucker, Stanberg, and Birds, and all of them, and Peters, and everybody. They, took their time. The Dr. Flemings, Dr. Fitzgerald, what's our guy that passed away just not too long ago? They're a long-time alumni. My guy. I know we both something right now. We don't spend so much time with it.
I'm sitting here. Oh my God, this could bother
everybody. Everybody through the Grass family. All the teachers. Everybody really, they put in their time. I commend them for that. Yeah. And I'm only gonna, not even try. I'm going to continue to uphold what they did for me. I'm gonna do for others.
No doubt. JP and Kayvon, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, JP and K. Yep. Hey, die harder.
Be on everything, man. I love JP, man.
Yep. God bless the dead.
Yes, man. One of the greatest. So
one of the greatest.
We fortunate guys, Drake. We are very fortunate guys.
Yes. Yes.
EC Glass is a special place. It's a really special place. A lot of people don't get to experience that, and we know.
We definitely know.
Unfortunately for them, they don't get to experience it, but we did, and it was amazing. It was awesome.
It was a beautiful thing, man. And like I said, Rube, Like you are an inspiration to all of us. I mean, like I said, one of the main things is, hey, we want to make sure that these guys is coming through now, understand, who guys are. Like you, Cornell, Hamilton, other guys like that. Like kids need to know that we got guys from our community that look like us, and no disrespect, whether they look like us, we all look alike with just different shades. Put it right. But what I'm saying is it's good to see guys like you guys. They need to know you guys. Because you guys, you laid that foundation for us, man. And you guys, you've been great with the city. You've been great with the kids here. You're great role models. You're great examples of what can be. And it's us pair of brothers right now to this day that's 7 to 8 years old that's doing the same thing that you and Cornell was doing, man. And like when they hear this story and be like, whoa, dang, they went, the brothers went from doing this. And a little, man, it makes all the difference in the world. The information and the knowing that somebody really care about you, it's wonders it works wonders for the kids, man. And again, I just want to commend you and your brother Cornell. Y'all my big brothers for life, man. You guys are great. We appreciate you, Rube, man. We appreciate your time for coming on here. We just appreciate everything you've done for us, man. And in closing, man, we just want you to take us out the way Ruben want to take us out.
I'll just put it like this. Dre, you family. You know that.
No doubt.
No question about that. And I believe blue and white. And even though I say that, I don't disclude my brother Keith Hamilton. I love all of Lynchburg. Mm-hmm. I love all of Lynchburg. But I'm that hard easy last.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Rube, because like I got all these kids that I had in my team. It was two places. I wanted them to go to Glass and then to Tech. But then I had all the kids going to Heritage and everything. So I can't hate Heritage. I don't want Heritage to win one day. And that's when they play Glass.
I'm with
and I grew up with a lot of Heritage friends.
You gotta have. I know that's our family. That's our family. But family fight too.
No doubt. No doubt. We're gonna fight it out and we'll be friends after the game.
Afterward, we'll be friends.
No doubt.
Thanks for having me.
Man, I appreciate you, Rube, bro.
I love you. I love your family. That's the luck. I got my eye on your young boy. I'm like I'm you there. I'm watching too. we got it like that.
No doubt, man. We definitely appreciate you, brother, man. We love you, man. This has been Dreken Talk with the iconic, our very own Ruben Brown. Like, share, subscribe. Dreken Talk Podcast. We out.